We are here today at BlackRock as Jews, calling upon Larry Fink, who is also a Jew. Our shared Jewish values tell us that we do not destroy. Bal Tashchit, Torah teaches us, do not destroy the earth.
This company's portfolio consisted of 5,349 holdings, including Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Alphabet, Facebook, and many more.
Now, Alphabet owns Google as well as all of Google's businesses and properties and products and all the companies that fall under that. YouTube is still a part of Google's business model.
I must admit to being somewhat, frankly, naive about this. In the circles that I move, I see almost no anti-Semitism. And you know, there's this old joke, I've got like this one Jewish friend. No, I have like 2/3 of my friends are Jewish, okay? I have twice as many Jewish friends as non-Jewish friends. I'm like Jewish by association. I'm aspirationally Jewish. So I don't, you know, I was like, what are people talking about with this anti-Semitism? Because I never hear it when at dinner conversations. It's like an absurdity, you know, at least in my friend circles. But when, you know, looking at the pro-Hamas rallies in vast numbers that took place in almost every major city in the West blew my mind.
I mean, I was raised Jewish, and I think I don't know, I'd say, you know, from the time I went to college or so, maybe I wasn't as focused on it. But I think a few things in the last 5 or 6 years have made me a little more focused on it.
Good morning, and thank you all for joining the call. I'd like to begin saying that our thoughts are with everyone who has friends, family, or loved ones impacted by terrorist acts in Israel. The violence and the loss of innocent lives has been shocking and truly heartbreaking. We at BlackRock will continue to do everything we can to support our colleagues and all our clients in the region.
First of all, Jewish-owned press, the old anti-Semitic stereotype about Jews controlling the media, and then saying anti-Israel, Merrick's very pro-Israel. And somebody needs to keep this guy away from the Twitter.
He loves it. He loves it, though, right? He's always on Twitter.
He does, and so are a lot of other powerful people, CEOs. And I think what they don't realize is that they have a very large audience here.
It is day 278 in the Donald Trump Zionist regime. As I have stated 1,000 times before, there are 2 sets of laws in America. One for you and I, and the Zionists and their friends basically have no laws. Now take Google, for example. It's the most powerful monopoly ever created. But how weird or strange is that antitrust laws do not count when the Zionists own the companies? What we're looking at here is the companies that the Zionists own. You got YouTube, Facebook. I mean, they abuse their monopoly. He said Donald Trump is happy that the Zionists are keeping us shut up. Think about this. Donald Trump is not saying anything. Donald Trump is not speaking out for us because he enjoys it. When the Zionists censor us, Donald Trump thinks that's fantastic. Quite frankly, that's the way it's supposed to work in this system, Donald. In Donald Trump's mind, they are special and we are the worker ant.
Content equating Hamas to ISIS and also showing the impact of the attacks. And it's clear that, you know, paid targeted advertisement has become a weapon of war. Governments that have the resources and the capacity to produce such material can use these platforms in order to spread war propaganda, and in this context to justify the collective punishment of Palestinians and war crimes and crimes against humanity that we see unfolding before our eyes.
Palestinians are also saying that social media companies have been taking down their content, threatening to close their accounts. Some say they're being shadow banned outright. Tell us what examples you're seeing, and are these acts of censorship on these various platforms affecting voices on both sides?
We've seen users' accounts being shut down, including very notable users and journalists
Journalists and independent investigators have been locked out of the Gaza Strip. Palestinians there are up against an internet and electricity blackout, making online access and news on the ground very difficult to come by. Social platforms have become a refuge for those able to get online, to find and share information. However, in the last 2 weeks, we've also seen a wave of disinformation, hate speech, as well as shadow banning and content takedowns by social media companies, all of which are disproportionately affecting Palestinians.
Fortunately, we thought that in 2021 we've settled matters, as in it was clear that this systematic and discriminatory approach to moderating Palestinian content has been exposed. There's no way for platforms to gaslight users or civil society organizations that this is just the result of a technical glitch, which surprisingly we don't see in other crises, like when Russia invaded Ukraine. We have seen actually proactive